Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's webinar on NetSuite planning and budgeting. My name is Campbell McLeish. I am the Head of Sales and Marketing at Nolan Business Solutions, and I'm joined today by Mahdi, who's one of the account executives at NetSuite Planning and Budgeting. Today's webinar is going to run from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, so it's just about an hour, half an hour long. We're going to run through some of the key features and benefits of the NetSuite Planning and Budgeting tool. Just want to reiterate, this is actually the first webinar in this three-part series that we've got. I've got a slide at the end of after Mahdi's done his bit, just to explain a bit more about the other webinars that we've got coming up. So there's more information about the NetSuite Planning and Budgeting tool and what it can do and the advantages and the benefits of the feature for you. So I'm going to just pass over to Mahdi. Make sure I can make you presenter.
Perfect. Thank you, Campbell. So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending today's session. My name is Mahdi Abbas, and I am the NetSuite Planning and Budgeting Account Executive here within NetSuite. I work specifically with the channel and very close with Nolan Business Solutions and our efforts together. So I'm going to be running through a few slides myself, and then I'll jump into the product demonstration. And obviously, if any questions do come about, feel free to put them in the chat function, and I will be happy to answer as and when Campbell reads them out to me. So first off, this is a quick safe harbor statement to say that anything and everything that you see in today's demonstration is completely within product. We will not be talking about any future updates at present. So NetSuite Planning and Budgeting, or NSPB as we call it. What is it, and why are you looking at it today? Well, we are the industry-leading FP&A solution, meaning that we are on the likes of the Gartner Magic Quadrant report and the Deloitte Fast 500 report and many other independent reports out there as the market-leading solution. We are also completely native to NetSuite ERP, meaning that we will be able to natively integrate and pull data as and when. Now, with regards to the solution itself, it is based on Oracle's Hyperion and S-based technology, which I'll get into a little bit more in a second, and the reason why it has been brought to NetSuite. Now, with NetSuite Planning and Budgeting, you're able to do trend and driver-based revenue and expense forecasting, working capital, workforce planning, financial forecasting around your P&Ls, your cash flow, and your balance sheet, and much, much more, as we're also able to pull data from different source systems. So I know that Nolan also works with a couple of different Microsoft products, which we can also do an integration with and be able to pull that data from, as well as the likes of different general ledgers, payroll, expensing, or other systems out there that you'd like to be able to gather data from. We can integrate with any of them. We offer better forecasting accuracy with predictive planning. We give you easy to compare what-if scenarios to improve your strategic decision making. And we have the world's most robust Microsoft Office integration on the market, which we call SmartView, and it integrates with Word, PowerPoint, and of course, Microsoft Excel for your ad hoc reporting needs. Now, what is Hyperion? Hyperion was acquired by Oracle back in 2007 for $3.3 billion and immediately became the leader in EPM, Enterprise Performance Management Solutions. And now this was a land and expand strategy against SAP, who only had a general ledger offering at the time, meaning that this was a market space that was completely open and something that Oracle took advantage of. As you can see here, we are the market leading solution in the Gartner Magic Quadrant report, as we sit in the top right hand corner as the leader, meaning that based on customer reviews, we have been noted as not only the market leader, but the most usable. Our customers are happy with our user interface and the fact that we scale with organizations, both small and large. Since our inception back in 2017, we have more than 850 customers across more than 35 different industries, across more than 40 countries, with more than 12,000 users. As some of you may have actually noticed, this is a snapshot from April of last year, so this is closer to 1,000+ customers and more than 15,000 users at present. Now, what NSPB delivers, or what has been, what our customers have brought back to us, again, a snapshot from June last year, from the Oracle Value EPM survey team, is that we offer more than 15% improvement of forecasting accuracy, 27% increase in value added analysis, 53% improved communication and collaboration between teams, meaning that you're not having to consolidate all of the existing spreadsheets into one. You can collaborate with each different team member and get them to upload their departmental budgets. 28% increase in use of rolling forecasts, 44% reduction in time to produce management reporting, and probably the one that stands out to everybody on the call today is that it's 71% reduction in the use of spreadsheets for budgeting purposes. A customer like you is Uniplaces. Jonathan Child was our champion over there, and basically, what was it? Just to give you a bit of background on Uniplaces, they are an organization that helps find student accommodation and serves more than 250,000 students across more than 150 countries. Back in 2016, they received Series A funding for scale up and further expansion. As a part of that expansion, they understood that they needed to be more precise and flexible with their financial planning and day-to-day budgeting, and realized that this could no longer be done on spreadsheets alone. So here's what Jonathan had to say about the solution 12 months after becoming a customer. Faster reporting equals quicker decisions. Actuals now make sense to the stakeholders, which I think is a very, very powerful statement. They're able to track costs in a much more efficient and effective way so that they can understand more about their costs. The ability to slice and dice in Excel using SmartView has been incredibly powerful, which is something that I'll touch on in today's session. Much more secure data, which reduces the risk and provides confidence in the numbers. And it's much easier for Jonathan and his team to do their jobs. Right, so beyond that, what I'm going to do is just jump directly into the product. So as you can see, I've just moved over into NetSuite Planning and Budgeting, and what you'll notice immediately is that I'm logged in as an administrator. We've got a couple of announcements from our CFO that we need to increase revenue by 25%, including service offerings, and that we need to reduce OPEX expenses by 10%. Now, these can be left as tasks, or they can be left as notes from your CFO or anyone within the within the organization who has a license. But we also have, for instance, our recents tab, which means that we have a very quick and easy metric to jump into any report that had been recently modified. It comes with an audit trail to state exactly as and when each of the reports were modified. And if we do push the little star button on the side here, it means that each of these reports will go into our favorites tab, meaning that we've got a very quick and easy way to click into each of the reports that we might need to modify on a daily basis. Right, so now that I've gone through that, let's touch on the planning and budgeting. So I'm going to go into forecast and then sales and COGS. I'm at the bottom, let me start at the top. So I'm going to start within my NetSuite item price. So for purpose of demonstration, today's demo has populated data based on an IT reseller and distributor. So of which you can see a range of different SKUs based in, was it on IT hardware like iPad Pros and monitors and so on and so forth. Now what we can do within the NetSuite item price is we can add a baseline price to each of our items, an alternate price with a high level discount, an alternate price with a mid-level discount, and maybe an alternate price with an uplift. That way, for instance, if we're looking into seasonality moments like in December and we're planning to add some upsell to each of our items for Christmas, as we know most people will spend quite a lot of money over that season, then we can do so here quite easily. Now, beyond that, we're able to add price schedule adjustments to these. So you can see now we're working off our forecast, our subsidiary, which is the US, and our currency, which is in USD, which obviously will change per organization and per customer. As we're working within our forecast, you'll notice that we're looking at August to December, and we're looking at 1 year ahead from January to December as well. What we're able to do here is make top level changes. So we can change, for instance, our alternate prices. So I'm going to change from alternate price 2 to alternate price 1, which had quite a high level discount. So due to that, I'm going to add a high level variable adjustment percentage. So I'm going to change that from 2 to 5. And you'll notice that the tabs have changed yellow. This means that if I click on a different area, I'm being asked if I want to discard the changes. I don't. I'm going to cancel and push the save button. And what you'll notice is that 663 has quickly changed to 735 very quickly. You'll also notice that I have 2 tabs here and here, which have a little green tab in the corner. That means that we've got underlined supporting detail, commentary, attachments, or something. So if I click on my comments, you'll notice that a change was made here back in 2019. But all of these tabs are completely editable, changeable, and you can add additional supporting details, lock them, add attachments, or whatever, just based on what you might need to do within this working month. Beyond that, we can work against our sales prices against each individual customer and class. So we can choose our range of different methods here with a different adjustment based on each individual customer. So you can see that we're working here with Abbott Inc. So we've got our total relationship, total customer, enterprise, mid-market, and SMB customers, and we can choose all of the customers we want to make these variable adjustments with, or we can just make a variable adjustment against all of our enterprise customers as a whole. Now, beyond that, we can have a much more consolidated view of the average cost of all of our line items or SKUs. And from there, we're able to add a cost of goods sold adjustment to that average cost. So if we know that we're essentially, which is giving you a completely different view and forecast of how you're planning against all of your different SKUs and line items. Because if you're working with the average cost, but the high level cost is coming to 1,200, but if I remember quite rightly, this monitor here was coming up as an average cost of 1,000, then we're able to create a whole different forecast against this by doing a variable cost average against them. Moving down one tab, I'm going to go into my sales units by customer at the very front, of which you'll see that now we're looking at a very different view. We've got our point of view at the top. Again, our relationship, class, and location is also added to this, but now we are able to add rolling forecast and different forecasting methodologies to our individual SKUs. So for instance, 3, 6, 9, and 12-month rolling, as well as prior year actuals or a manual forecast. This one's currently on a 6-month rolling forecast, so I'm going to change this to 9. As we've increased the number of months by a third, what I'm going to do is add a third on top for our variable adjustment. So I'll change that from 20% to 30%. And again, this will change the plan as we're looking January to July as our actuals. So it will make the changes for August to December. So we should see that 177 change quite quickly. So I'm going to push save. And that 177 has changed to 615 due to the variable adjustment percentage increase and the rolling forecast change. Beyond that, we have a view to our sales units by product. So here we're looking at all of our enterprise customers, and we can see them all now in the vertical slide at the side. We can review each individual line item against how each of these customers, how many we're selling to each of these individual customers. We're also able to change these from the pencil tab, so we can change the type of SKU that we're looking at, what subsidiary, what currency, and so on. We also have our product sales by revenue, and again, this is just giving us a really good understanding of how our product sales are doing in a much more consolidated view, of which you can see the plus button here, so we can expand across our entire inventory items, but this is specifically looking at one relationship with one individual customer and how we're working with them on each individual SKU on a monthly basis. We can also look at our sales units by top level adjustment, and what we mean by top level is we're now looking at our baseline forecast, of which we can change this from forecast 1, forecast 2, forecast 3, or budget 1, budget 2, budget 3, because you can have multiple budgets and multiple forecasts in the solution. Now, the reason why it says top level is because we are actually looking at all of our customers across all of the SMB, enterprise, and mid-market. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, what you'll notice is that we're looking at total customer, because beyond that, we do have all of our customers attached to this top level review. For any customer that also has services added into their pipeline and to their infrastructure, we have our services sales here, of which we are looking against each individual customer and class. But for instance, we have different forecasting metrics against each of these. So we've got our product units, our product revenue, so we can review how much is being made each month against each of the product side of things. But then we can also see where we're adding value from the services perspective. So whether that be consulting, integration, managed services, project management, or training, with all different types of forecasting metrics, from the rolling forecasted with variable adjustment percentages. We've got the prior year actual with an adjustment percentage of our product revenue, and dollars or pounds per unit. So again, and these percentages can be changed, or value can be changed here to make the additional changes based on what we think we're going to do against our each of our service line items against each individual customer. Beyond that, we have our services sales by revenue. And again, this is our consolidated view of the overall numbers against each individual customer, but we can change to total customer or all of our enterprise customers as a whole if need be. So here's how we're looking against all of our enterprise customers against our 5-month forecast and our forecast moving ahead. And then finally, at the end, we have a range of dynamic dashboards, which are all made from drag and drop editors, which can be easily created, added, or reviewed. You can have as many tabs up here. You can see I've got 2 because we're looking specifically at sales metrics, but all of the data within the solution, you can report against KPIs, you can report against sales data, operational data, or any other data beyond just financial. You can also look at just the financial. It's entirely down to you. But I just wanted to make you aware, because as we're looking at sales data, we're mainly looking at sales metrics and financial data as a whole, of which we can report against any and all and create as many of these dashboards as you like. I'll get into some of those in next week's session when we move on to our what if planning. Now, if I wanted to change, for instance, this line graph to a bar graph, for instance, because I feel like it's going to add more supporting detail over a 2-year plan, that's entirely fine. And as you can see, it quickly changes based on these recommendations. But what is even more interesting is that we're able to drill into all of the detail. So for instance, firstly, I can hover over here and see exactly how much revenue or value we're making off of all of our SMB customers. So this is coming up as roughly 100 mil against all of our customers, all of our SMB customers in the month of December. But I can drill even further and drill into the SMB customers and see exactly who my strongest customer is, which seems like it's Zenith and Acme Installation, and potentially because they're doing a lot more services than actual selling of the products that we're offering. But yes, we're able to drill into these in as much detail as we like in any additional information also. Right, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to move from my web interface into my Excel interface. Bear with me. So I've just opened a new tab, but what you'll notice here is it doesn't look exactly the same as the Excel that you're probably accustomed to. And the reason why is because we have a direct integration with the web interface that I was just working into. So all of the reports that we're creating within the web interface, like our P&L, our balance sheet, our cash flow, or income statement as it's put here, are entirely editable and pull through. I can actually just double click and it will open up within this system within a couple of seconds, as you've seen here. Now, if I push the Analyze button, this allows me to to analyze the data and to create ad hoc reports in the background off of this with no hassle. You'll also notice that I've got my point of view tab here, which is what I had mentioned earlier on about being able to slice and dice. And you'll see what I mean in a second, as we have all of our products, locations, relationships, departments, items, class, amount, the subsidiary that we're working in, or we could work against a total subsidiary, and we've got the reporting currency that we're working in also. So for instance, if I wanted to create a report based on this information, what I could do is to cut it down, because I only want to look, for instance, at the month of March, the month that we're working in, I push keep only. That quite quickly has segmented the data and brought me down to my actuals for March of FY18 and my forecast for March FY19. Now, what I can do is insert a tab, and if I wanted to, I could drag and drop my total department, my total item. I could choose my member selector and choose them as an individual area to drop into. Or once you become more proficient within the solution, what you can also do is just type it in. So what I'm going to do is type in total item and push refresh, and then you'll see total item is automatically being pulled from the cloud and input within this report. Now, if I push keep only on income, I'm now minimalizing the report again. I can go a bit further and zoom in to all levels of income. So I'm looking at my total sales and my total services and total products. Now, with total item, I can also zoom into all of my total items, so my services, my non-inventory items, my inventory items, and then my undefined items and total items. So there we've created a very quick report, but if maybe I want to take one step further and perhaps create a quick 6x6. So what I'm doing is I'm copying and pasting this over. I can quite quickly type in YTD and in brackets March. I'll drag this over and then I'll push refresh. And then all of the numbers for my year to date for March have automatically populated within this report. I can go one step further and type in, for instance, total. What I mean by total is year total. So if I push refresh again, year total comes up. So again, once you become proficient in the solution, you can learn all of these shortcut keys, which will make your life much easier and allow you to slice and dice against all of the data.
No, thanks very much for that, Mahdi. It's great. Just a really good overview of the features and the benefits of the planning and budgeting tool that we've got from NetSuite. Just as Mahdi said, this is a web series, so there's another 2 of these webinars coming up. So the next one is next Wednesday at the same time, so that's 12:30 until about 1ish, and that one will be on workforce planning. And then part 3 is on the following week, so Wednesday the 17th of March, again at 12:30, and that one's on the what if planning. If you want to reach out and find out more information, please do get in touch. My email address is there, sales@nolanbusinesssolutions.com, and that's our mainline sales phone number. So if you just ring that, you'll get in touch with one of the NetSuite sales guys and they can help you out. So from me, just want to say thank you very much for your time today, for attending. Hope to see you here next week's call and the week after as well, just to go through the other features and benefits of NetSuite planning budgeting. But have a great day and stay safe. Many thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.